Good morning, Assalamu alaikum. Hey, how's everyone doing? I hope you all doing amazing. It's amazing Thursday. It's 7 a.m. in the morning. Just wanted to discuss a little bit something that's bothering me last couple of days. I mean, it's been bothering me really long, and I wrote about it a little bit here and there, but it looks like not a lot of people know what's going on in Sudan, and even those who know are doing little about it. But unfortunately, the RSF in Sudan, or Rapid Support Forces, whatever it's called, is committing really atrocious crimes right now in Sudan, not Sudan, sorry, in Sudan, and that's costing a lot of lives. That's so far in past 3 days we've been hearing different numbers, but somewhere between 3,000 to 6,000 people have been unalived by these groups, and the majority of those who lost their lives were not in a war, at a war with anybody. They were just peaceful civilians. Majority of them. Obviously, there were some military personnel that were that hand over their weapons, that were part of the groups that were massacred. But overall, majority of those who died were children and women, and people are starving right now. And unfortunately, it's the regional governments. Majority of the problem is coming from the regional governments. UAE, whatever it's called, is behind the majority of the massacres. Drones have been used by these groups, which are not a government. Some may say, oh, it's a government formed in Nairobi, which makes Kenya complicit, if that's true. But we knew Kenya and Ethiopia are both complicit on Sudan. And so many reasons why a lot of countries are against Sudan. Sudan was and played in a powerful role in Eastern Middle and Eastern North Africa, I believe, the area that it is in. Obviously, we know they have problems with Ethiopia, which is not that major, but Ethiopia is also been accused of supporting the RSF. Egypt is the only country that has not been, I haven't heard any of it, that like they supporting the RSF. But Chad is where majority of the militia is coming from, and the government of Sudan is also claiming that majority of those who are the fighters of the RSF are coming from inside Chad. So that is something that is bad. If it's just, and we know Haftar in Libya is also openly supporting the RSF, obviously himself massacring a lot of Libyans. So this became normal in the countries that were intervened either by by sanctions or American drone and military actions. I mean, you remember Somalia's civil war was new, and when the United States in 1993 went in Somalia and attacked that Tuesday, whatever it's called, Bloody Tuesday, whatever it is, the Black Hawk Down that we all watch, and recently done by a documentary done by Netflix. That killed a lot of people that day, and those that were killed, a lot of them have been saying that they were meeting to solve the Somali issue. And that's where the warlord and the mess started, was after that invasion, after the Americans pulled out and all the other peacekeepers pulled out of Somalia. That's where the mess started. And the clan rebels and clan militias and everything got really, really bad quickly. And not only that, the warlords appeared after that, where Mogadishu was divided into small corners, each with its own little boss. We've seen the same thing happening in Yemen. Obviously, America was involved on targeting a lot of Yemenis. So many Yemenis died, and we all know. And also Libya, Muammar Gaddafi was under sanctions for a very long time, and when he collapsed, we know before Libya was Iraq, unfortunately, which somehow recovered because of function divisions and the major function that controls in Iraq right now seem to cleared everything that didn't like them or they didn't like it. And yeah, they there because of the immense power they have and majority of the areas that they cleansed. And that's the reality nobody can deny. Well, it looks it's recovering, but at what cost? We've seen same thing played in Libya. Libya is, we don't know. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it, Libya, honestly. But Turkey's involved. America was involved. Obviously, we know the ambassador that was unalived there, and the whole Hillary mess. That became a big thing again. And we see the same thing. The scenario that played in Somalia is also playing. Although two major factions, but how many small factions that we don't really know. Same thing was attempted in Tunisia, although Tunisia survived. Going back to one-man rule, I guess. The same thing is the scenario in Somalia. Obviously, if you're not aware of Somalia, having at least 8 or 9 presidents and 9 different functions of regional governments, regional parliaments, or regional forces, all of this, it's a mess. It's stable because the functions and the regional administrations are now choosing to fight right now, but it can turn ugly in a second, and we will all know, and I'm sure it will turn ugly once it starts. It can never be stopped, because of the regional support and the American interest, which is to continue these kind of places to be unstable for longer times, very long time. And Somalia is 30 years now, and over 30 years. The peace process, building, I don't want to get into that. All right. And same thing is playing in Sudan, where the country is being divided into northern Sudan, or Sudan and South Sudan, and now Sudan and Darfur. And we're seeing the same thing again happening. Who is involved? We all know who's involved. I'm behind it. And it's all against, all for one purpose. And we know what that is. And, the conclusion, I don't want to keep talking and ranting for something that a lot of people are not interested. But the thing is, we need to aware what's happening in Sudan, because the Sudan could turn ugly because they are really, really armed. Sudan is very unique because it used to be a powerful country that manufactured a lot of arms. It's been stable very long time. It's been a war very long time at the same time, but it's been a stable military-ruled government for a very long time. And both sides, the RSF and the Sudanese military, which I really like. I like how they bolt that country together despite all the challenges. If it turns into tribal mess, you can expect something like what happened in Rwanda. I hope it never happens, but it will be dirty. Well, so far, what we have seen could either be the end of the mess or a beginning of a terrible. I hope it's not, but it could be a beginning of a terrible, terrible, terrible scenario that resembles what happened in part of what happened early Somalia. And we could see 9, 8, 10 bosses coming out of there. A lot of people feel they have been marginalized, they have not been given enough